What is going on, y'all? Faiz Sports Talk back at it with another video talking, of course, some NBA. And I'm here to talk about the Bulls, of course, but more importantly, pose a question that I think a lot of people want an answer to, which is it time for the Chicago Bulls to maybe look at trading Lauri Markkanen and or Wendell Carter Jr. So let's talk about that. But before I do, if you guys are new to the channel, make sure to go ahead and subscribe if you have not done so already, folks. Make sure you are following me on all my social media platforms. Links is always down below for my Twitter, my Instagram. And make sure you hit the bell icon so you're notified every time I drop a new video. So with that being said, let's get into it. All right, let me start by saying this. Why am I bringing up this question right now? Well, there's a couple of reasons. All right, number one, the NBA trade deadline is coming up. It is on March 25th, so it is actually closer than we think. Number two is because of the fact that this season has been a pretty interesting one, to say the least. All right, we've had some bright spots with the Bulls. We've had some low spots with the Bulls, all right? Certainly, we can all agree Zach LaVine's turned into an absolute star. We can all agree that Billy Donovan's been a huge upgrade over Jim Boylen, which isn't really saying much, but still. And we can all agree this is a development year for the Bulls, and if they make the playoffs, that's just gravy for Bulls fans, even though the expectations shouldn't be, maybe that high for the Chicago Bulls, because like I said, this is all about development this year. All right, year one of the new regime. And we knew going into this year that Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter Jr. and how they would play was going to determine a lot about if they were a part of this team's future moving forward. Well, right on cue, what happens? Both big men, not one, both of them go down. First, it was Wendell Carter Jr., and then after it was Lauri Markkanen. So both went down with injuries, and this has been the issue with both of them, more so than anything, honestly, on the court, which is they can't stay healthy. Neither Lauri or Wendell has completed a full season, actually, not even really close to it. And they, again, go down again. So I hate calling guys injury prone, but that's essentially what these two have become. And I always say this, right? In the NBA, and I guess in any sport, really, your best ability is availability, right? How can I, trust you if I can't depend on you even playing? And that's become the case for Lauri and Wendell. Now, to Lauri's credit, when he was playing, we absolutely saw him play a lot better this year than he did last year when he was pretty much just a spot-up shooter with Jim Boylen. And for Wendell Carter Jr., he was decent. Again, 12 points, 8 rebounds around there. Nothing special, but still solid. All right? So neither guy was, lighting the world on fire like Zach LaVine is, but they weren't disappointing like crazy either. All right? So that's why I'm thinking about, man, is it time to trade these guys and move on? Well, a couple of things I go back to. Lauri's still 23 years old. Wendell Carter's still 21 years old. So they're still extremely young. But more importantly, it's about timing, right? Lauri Markkanen's contract is coming to an end. And if we do not sign him to an extension, he becomes a restricted free agent if we offer him the qualifying offer. Wendell Carter Jr. still has a year left before that happens, because obviously he was drafted after Lauri. So, to me, looking at that and taking a look at the contract situation, Lauri Markkanen is clearly more of a question mark at this point than Wendell, right? What do you do with Lauri? Do you keep him? Do you trade him? I still love what Lauri brings to the team, his skill set, what he's able to provide, his shooting ability, all of that, man. But I think we know what this team is missing. The Chicago Bulls need size. They need size badly, especially for the defensive side. We get killed by opposing big men. They eat the Chicago Bulls bigs for lunch, dinner, whatever, breakfast, inside all the time. So size is very important. Wendell Carter Jr., I've said this ad nauseum, he's an undersized center. And even though he's the best option we got, it's still not good enough at this point. So size is what the Bulls need. They need size. We know that. Both offensively and defensively. Is it worth giving up and trading Lauri and Wendell if you get that player back who is going to give you that size? That's really the question. So essentially, here's where I'm at. Before, I was totally opposed to giving up on Lauri and Wendell and thinking, look, we got to give them a chance under, obviously, Billy Donovan and the new regime. And it's still very early. I'm not ready to wave the white flag and say Lauri and Wendell, it's over for you guys. But here's where I'm at. If there is a player out there that A.K. Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley, the GM of the Bulls, figures that would be a better fit for the team as an upgrade, I believe then that Lauri and Wendell are definitely expendable. These guys are not, can't trade, untouchable players on the Bulls. They're just not, okay? And so, again, what's really hurting them is the fact that they keep getting hurt. And so if we can't depend on them, then it might be time to ship them out. Now, what do I think happens? I do think the Bulls probably end up, if Lauri, either regresses or doesn't stay healthy or bottoms out or kind of stays stagnant, they probably just extend the qualifying offer for him just so they can see what he gets out there in the market. And go from there. Now, if he turns it around, great, contract extension at that point. Wendell, probably a wait-and-see approach, but I do see the fact that AK will look to see, okay, these guys don't fit. It's looking like we need size, and Wendell's not the guy because, again, that's an area of upgrade. Maybe it's time to trade Wendell. So if there's a guy out there, I'm open to it now, right? Let's look for trade partners and see, can we get some size on this team? Because we know Zach is our scorer. We know Kobe's developing, whether that's being a scorer off the bench or obviously as our starting point guard. But our bigs cannot stay healthy to save their lives. And we need to have guys who can stay healthy and also can give us size on the defensive and also offensive end. So that's kind of where I'm at, folks. So in terms of trading Lauri Markkanen and Wendell Carter Jr., I'm open to it. I'm open to it if it's the right player. I'm open to it if it obviously is going to help our team both in the short term and long term. I don't think the Bulls are in any position where they feel like they're in win now mode. So I don't expect them to, sacrifice their future for the present. But I do believe that they are noticing that these guys can't stay healthy, and that's a problem. And so we might need to move off of them. So that's where I'm at, folks. What do you guys think? Where are you at with Lauri and Wendell? Are you getting impatient with these guys? They can't stay healthy. Let me know down in the comments below. As always, thanks for watching.